I don't know about you guys, but I feel like maybe our gains are about to rise from the dead. It doesn't seem like cryptocurrency is going to be making a new lower low unless there's some really big news that has some more really big fear that gets put into the market that's more fearful than the fear we've been seeing over the past few months. And that's a pretty tall order. This morning we got CPI data that came out 8.2% actual, and it was expected to come in a little bit lower at 8.1%. But it did come down 0.1% from last month, which is a good sign that inflation is starting to level off and maybe even be headed to the downside. Unfortunately though, all items less food and energy or core CPI still went up by 0.6% month over month and 6.6% year over year, and that's really bad. Due to core CPI continuing to come in higher than expected, I do believe the Fed is going to have to continue being hawkish, and we're probably going to be seeing another 75 basis point hike and then a 50 by the end of the year. Then at the beginning of next year, hopefully they will start to pause their interest rate hikes because they have said that coming up soon they might have to start doing that. Like I said, I don't expect Bitcoin and cryptocurrency to make another lower low, but we could be seeing the stock market make a lower low because earnings are yet to come in, but cryptocurrency just doesn't have earnings. But if we do start to see some really big fear catalysts like possibly a nuclear war or World War III, then I think that could definitely put enough fear into the markets to send us to the downside some more. But if we see a nuclear war, then it's not going to matter anyway because like I've said in a lot of my videos in the past, the markets going down isn't going to matter if money can't save you during a nuclear apocalypse anyhow. As you know, Biden did say that NATO isn't going to be accepting Russia's annexation of those 4 regions of Ukraine, and then Ukraine retaliated and bombed that bridge, which really pissed off Russia. Then they started to attack all of these cities around Ukraine, and it looks like the war is starting to ramp up. This is not a really good look, but fortunately the Russia Ministry of Defense did say that all assigned targets have been neutralized. They said that if there are more terrorist attacks on Russian territory, then they are going to continue ramping things up in Ukraine. But right now it looks like they have already neutralized all the targets that they already have set, and Putin has mentioned that he does want to have peace talks. China says that we need to have peace talks, and even Donald Trump has come out and said that if we don't have peace talks, then we could definitely be headed into World War III, and that could lead to the end of the world. This is something that we definitely want to avoid at all costs, obviously, but unfortunately it looks like the West over here isn't trying to do that because the military-industrial complex and the war machines are hungry and want to make more money. Somebody needs to tell those people what I said though, money is not going to help you in a nuclear apocalypse. In France and Germany, we have a bunch of protests going on where people want to leave NATO because they see that this could escalate out of control and lead to the end of the world, and they don't want to have anything to do with that. Russia supposedly also just sent 300,000 troops to the border of Ukraine, and it looks like whenever the ground freezes over, as some people are saying, they might start to rush in with all of these 300,000 troops, because as you probably know if you have studied anything about World War II, the Ruskies do really well in the winter, and that's when they like to dominate. Also, the chief of NATO, this guy right here, said that if there are any kind of cyber attacks or hybrid warfare, then that could warrant an Article 5, and that would be definitely probably leading to the end of the world, because as we know, that could definitely have to do with strategic nuclear missile launches, and that is basically MAD or mutually assured destruction. Then a couple of days ago, we had a cyber attack that might have even came from Russia, and they attacked a bunch of US airport websites and had them shut down, which is definitely not a good thing whenever you've got the chief of NATO saying that that could entitle Article 5. Hopefully none of this stuff continues to play out, and hopefully the West does come to their senses and try to actually come and at least negotiate for some peace talks, because if they do show up and try to make peace, then they can definitely have a justified means of going into more war and funding all of this war machine situation that they want to fund anyway if Putin does ghost them and say that he doesn't want to de-escalate things. But with Putin saying that he wants to have peace talks and the West saying no, this just basically makes us look like villains. If this nuclear situation does continue to ramp up, then it's definitely going to have downward pressure on the markets. But like I said, it's not going to matter because money isn't going to help us in a nuclear apocalypse. Let's just hope that the West comes to our senses and negotiates for some peace talks. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I hope you have a wonderful day, and don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.